Hi, friends. Today, I would like to invite you to journey with me a little further down the road, away from perfectionism and performance, into the love of God for you and me. Love truly rescued me out of a life of perfectionism and performance. And the love of God for you will do the same for you. In fact, if you've walked with Him for any amount of time, He has already been rescuing you with His love. His love for you is perfect and protective and jealous to occupy every molecule of your being. He purchased all of you. And love wants to teach us how to embrace love and how to release the things that are part of our old mindsets and our way of thinking and living that existed before we came to Christ, or that existed because we have an enemy who is out to steal, kill, and destroy anything in our lives that comes from God and brings Him glory. So I wanted to talk to you about the power of the mind of Christ and how that relates to parting from old mindsets and embracing the truth that sets us free. My journey is a journey of freedom. I have put those things behind me, perfectionism and performance. That is the stance of my heart, is to embrace all the freedom that Jesus died to give me. And freedom in my thinking and my thought life has translated into my behavior. And recently, God was showing me that there was a shadow in my thinking that He wanted to illuminate to me. He wanted to give me some revelation about that. And He wanted me to give that to Him so He could give me the freedom to embrace the thoughts that He would like to give me. It was as though I could see a ceiling on my thinking, and a constriction, almost like the image that came to my mind was a maze, that my thoughts were restricted by this shadow of performance, where because of the shadow, I could never be 100% sure that I was getting it all right, that there was something that I was not doing right. And I know I'm covered by grace until God shows me and all that, but it was like a shadow on my thinking. And it limited me. It limited me in my praise and in my worship and my creativity, and I could see it. The Lord had given me a couple of dreams, back-to-back nights, which I didn't understand until I brought them both to Him the second morning. The first, I was performing. I didn't see it at the time, but I'd enlisted in some kind of a military thing, and I was unsure of myself. I was afraid I was going to mess up and break a rule, and sure enough, I did. In my dream, I got punished for it. The person that influenced me to do whatever it was I did in the dream, break a rule, they got punished more severely, and they made me deliver the punishment. So I just woke up not feeling good. And about it, just mentally kind of carrying it around. And I just gave it to the Lord, and I was like, Lord, take this feeling away. And so the very next night I had a dream, and I was sent into a very dysfunctional situation in the dream. And I was ministering truth. I was speaking about Jesus, and I was talking to these people about divine order, which they knew nothing about. It was a marriage, and they were about to give up on life, and they embraced it. I was telling them things that they didn't know, and they embraced it, and there was just a lot of activity as I was helping them set up, their new household and their new way of living as a couple and as a family. And I woke up from that dream, which was a very active dream. I was busy, and the Lord was giving me these creative words to say and thoughts to give, and it was completely the opposite of how I'd felt the day before. So I brought it to him, and he showed me the contrast. And he spoke to me, and he said, you'll never get all your behavior right until you get your thinking right. And I thought about 2 Corinthians 10, that we have been given the mind of Christ as a weapon, as a helmet. Ephesians 6, the helmet of our salvation, to protect our minds. And I knew my heart was set on him and on his love and on everything, the fullness of my salvation. And he shined a light and showed me that this was a center of opposition to the light of the gospel. That the light of the gospel had just shown up to illuminate something that was limiting me in my thoughts, that was making me subtly afraid at times that maybe I wasn't getting it all right. The good news and the encouragement that I have for you is that Jesus got it right for us. That's what God is looking at. He's looking at you. He's looking at me with the very same love that he has for Jesus. And he's helping us along the way. He shines a light on an old way of thinking, on a shadow, on something that's influencing us. And he says, here, give that to me, and let me give you this instead. And that recent thing from the Lord made me feel so loved as I stepped into more fullness, more confidence that he has got more for me, more creativity. He's taking off the lid. He's taking down the walls to our thinking so we can live and move and have our being in him, in the one who died to rescue us with the love of God. So I thank you so much for watching. I will be praying for you this week to rejoice in the light of the gospel and in the fullness of your salvation, which includes your mind, which includes the dethroning of old mindsets as you happily put Jesus on the throne, in his mind, on the throne of your mind. I invite you back next week. Thank you again for watching.